Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, old and new friends. Hello, future friends and friends from the past. Welcome to Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Switch. I was possessed randomly to make a Let's Play walkthrough guide sort of thing. I'm gonna settle on guide. Welcome to episode 1. This is my guide for Link's Awakening, specifically the Nintendo Switch HD remake. I have been playing this game a lot. It's a game that really was an important a gigantic turning point in my life as a game player. I'll talk more about it later, but I would not be so passionate about games with exploration and item progression if it weren't for this game. It's essential. I have played it 5 times, and I will get into my reasoning more, but if I can sell you day 1 on this guide here, I've decided to make it for 3 reasons. The first is there are some serious, I call them stumbling blocks in this game that I think are so old-fashioned and outdated, they will send you straight to a walkthrough. So I figured, why not make a walkthrough that is kind of fun and maybe add something special and personal to your experience? Why not make a guide and a walkthrough that is enjoyable and makes you glad, a little bit glad, that Link's Awakening forced you to use one? Second off, I love to 100% games, especially Zelda games. I replay this all the time, but I don't like doing Dompe dungeon stuff. I just find that it makes me tired of the bosses really quickly after a while. So I want to present mellow percent completion for people who crave validation like me, who feel just a little bit dissatisfied without that final heart container and everything. It's okay if you don't get all of the hearts and shells. I will tell you how much of everything you can get without doing Dampe dungeon stuff at all. I mean, it's fun, do it if you want to, but this is posing an alternate completion percent for people who want to have a stamp of validation on their playthrough, but don't want to do that. And third, I just have a lot of random wisdom that I want to pass down. Prepping for this video, I've realized there's just so much random stuff, either from deceptively deep physics in the mini games or especially mapping. I think if you don't have a good habit or a nice relationship with your map, the later game gets significantly more frustrating. So I'll show you how I do everything. There's just a lot of like homemade, I don't know, like hand-cooked little things that I do that, this is not going to be hero mode, that I think could benefit folks. So I'm sharing on some wisdom here. First piece of wisdom, if you call yourself Zelda, you might not know this. Not Link Zelda. Oh, we're still in there. If you call yourself Zelda, you play alternate music. I hope I've convinced you to sign on. I'm already delivering the wisdoms, but no, I'm actually going to call myself Goldfish. This is in reference to the cracker, not the aquatic animal. I always name my links after foods. Alright, so I think we're going to rewatch the cutscene. I'm uncertain how much I actually showed you. No, we're not going to watch the cutscene. Okay, I'm a fraud. I'm not a speedrunner. There are other 100% walkthrough guides on the internet. I'm not going to offer perfection here, but I am going to show you everything you need to know. You don't need to know whether or not the intro cutscene plays there, because you're going to watch it every single time you boot this game up. I am going to voice act, I suppose. I don't really have a plan, though, so we're going to see how this develops. What a relief. I thought you'd never wake up. You were tossing and turning. What? Zelda? Nuh-uh. My name's Marin. You still must be feeling a little woozy. You're on Koholint Island. Yes, that is one of the game's special traits, is that we're not in Hyrule. We are in the water. Well, Goldfish, you have finally snapped out of it. Name's Taryn. Hope you're feeling better. What? How did I know your name? You think it's weird, huh? Well, I saw it on the back of this shield. Speedrun to the Hylian shield. Yeah, so we've been to Hyrule. We've done some Hyrule things before, but we are not currently doing them. So, nice, little thing. The beginning of the game, this first episode is going to be a big orientation for the village, and part of that is, holy crap, this game looks nice. God, the first night that I do a replay, I'm always just taking in how pleasant everything is. I'm even experimenting in the rare Melovania 1080p for this. There's just so much. You got these, what are they, hibisci on the walls, those tropical fellows. Basket of mushrooms is actually foreshadowing. The big girl hibiscus right here. Hey, what are you doing in my chest? Where'd you learn to do such a thing? Particularly Dragon Quest, I think. There's proof that they're a family. There's this chameleon cage. Chameleon habitat? I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, this is a bit of our home base because they find us, as evidenced by the intro cutscene in the water. We wash up here. I guess I do have to show you that cutscene at some point. And this is the house with flowers. Man, this is the summery game. Oh my gosh. More flowers here. I didn't realize what this guide is going to be, but it's just going to be me pointing out pleasant things to look at. Yeah, this is a telephone stump. We'll get to that later. Oh dear. Yeah, I also haven't played this on TV in a long time. And not sitting this, I've never played it on this TV before, and I got a little bit motion sick, I don't know, from booting it up. I feel like I'm looking down into it way too much, and I think it's from like the blurry side stuff. It seems like they have cut down the blurry top of the screen effect significantly in Echoes of Wisdom from what I peeped. It is really strong here. So this is a small fellow. There's a couple of him. Hey man, when you want to save, hit up the system screen. You get there by opening the subscreen with the plus, and then pressing the R to get to the system screen. Don't ask me what that means. I'm just a kid. Many such creatures. Yeah, I'm not gonna go talk to everybody right now. There's a lot that we can do. What did they even give me for instructions? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they gave me for instructions. This is our one cuckoo. This is one of our cuckoos. And this is one of our butterflies. I spent an embarrassingly large amount of time standing around observing these fellows. This is Bow Wow. Do take note of that for later. And I could go fishing. I could go fishing while I lore dump at you. I'm pretty sure. No, I don't have any rupees. How about some fishing? Not now. You have to have more passion. I actually am decently passionate about the fishing minigame, but we actually need money. I didn't exactly remember that you have to go get the rupee producing object this early. But you do. Okay, so we're taking a quick step out. Some of the more adventurous actions of today in this episode. Here are Octoroks. I'm not gonna do a play-by-play. The enemies are pretty simple in this game. These guys are really cute. Look at the little tentacles going when he walks. Yeah, he's really going. No, I like him. What? Looks like a bit like a bug. Don't think about it too much, but he's a bit like a bug. Yeah, the shield's good, if you're in peril. can do one of these. Oh, okay. Deceptively deep. That's what I'm always saying. This game has deceptively deep stuff going on because it is ultimately a 3D game in a 2D space. Don't forget that. You can do all kinds of things if you remember that. The goal here in the beginning, besides, you know, soak up the tropical vibes, you paid an exorbitant amount of money to pirate this game, and you should enjoy the atmosphere and the beachiness. This is one of the nicest areas of the game, you know? Once you leave the village and the beach, it gets a lot more adventure-y, sometimes even treacherous and overrun with scary fellows. But this is mostly fun. Like, mostly. This is really scary. This is one of those spinny dudes from the water. These are plants shaped like stars, and maybe also flowers. That's the magic of summer. But yeah, you press R to use your shield, and this is teaching you that. Also, these are Gordos. Also, these are Gordos from Kirby. Don't let them trick you. So this song that we're listening to right now, the melody, well, it's from Link's Awakening. It's a Link's Awakening type beat, but we're about to change that. We're about to change that a little bit. Hoo-hoo! So you are the lad who owns the sword. Now I understand why the monsters are starting to act so violently. A courageous lad has come to wake the windfish. It is said that you cannot leave the island unless you wake the windfish. You should now go north, to the mysterious forest. I will wait for you there, Hooch. We'll catch back up with him in episode 2. I have bigger fish to fry than the windfish. Not the Master Sword, but a close second. This is our sword. It's our sword. We put our name on it. It has a nice red dot on the hilt. That might be the weak point, I'm not sure. But yeah, basically this is a fun little way to, I don't know, teach you to use your shield? From a gameplay perspective, I don't know what this adds, but it's a fun little segment, because now we got that Hyrule song playing. We got Hyrule Radio blasting in this decidedly not Hyrule Island. Yeah, you can send enemies flying. Again, deceptively deep game. The bodies just go flying, and they can knock off in funny ways too. Yeah, they'll have fun launching them. Oh yeah, here's another important thing about the game. You might feel bad killing some of these enemies. Can you hear that? It's so realized. It just sounds like you're murdering something small and squishy. And there actually are enemies in this game that I won't kill. I didn't realize that that was also a part of the wisdom that I hope to impart in you, but it's going to be. Alright, so this is the opening of Link's Awakening. And you get the sword right there. And I don't think there is much reason to dilly around on the beach right now. We will get back there pretty soon. You can walk to even prettier areas, but I'm being a little bit mindful of the time. Alright, about peril. I'm going to try to do this game without dying. I, for some reason, did it with only one death last time I played, and I didn't soft reset. I do not know why I didn't just turn my game off after I died, but I was like, live and let live. But there is a bit of a secret at the end of the game if you don't die. Best to know that early. I will give that a shot. I don't think I'll have to reset more than once or twice. Yeah. So we were told to go north, but there is plenty to do in the village, so I think it's worth orientating ourselves a little bit more. Maybe not with these chaps, but at the same time, it's lonely. Kiddo, I hear that when you're running out of hearts, you better go find a big fairy. Why? I have no idea. I'm just a kid. What? You just gave me a look for a little bit. I heard that you can press minus to look at the island map. Not only that, but you can stick pins in it with A and remember stuff with X. But I don't understand what that means. I'm a kid. As always, your insight is invaluable. Bow Wow here. He's a good friend of mine, and I always wish I had a better way to pet him. Sometimes I just use the shield. Giving him a little whack is the only way to really make contact, and ultimately, it's a bit like scratching, you know? if human nails are satisfactory scratching devices for a dog's fur and flesh, then I actually think a sword of steel would be comparable for a metal dog, right? It's a bit unpleasant on the ears, though. Don't hit him. He's made of flesh and fur, so it's not scratching. He'll get mad. Marin's doing a thing. She's very busy. But we're also busy and full of passion. I'm gonna show you some fishing stuff. I'm not doing a speed run thing here. Oh no, I'm poor. I'm not doing a speed run or anything here. I don't think that you need to front load your life with fishing, but I find, as I said, while I'm just like drinking up the visuals and I'm like, oh baby, this game feels so good to play. Fishing is a great way to enjoy that. It's just, you'll never be happier. Oh! You'll never be happier to be staring at the water and the rock textures than the first time you play. Promise you that. Here's a secret seashell. This is one of our main objectives. I am going to be teaching you how to get all of them for mellow percent. We're gonna skip the one seashell. There's one seashell we're missing in the entire game. One seashell that is locked behind the Dampy dungeon, and we're not going to Dampy's dungeon. So there's gonna be 49 of these fellows. Pieces of heart. I am going to be, and we're gonna get to this in a second, I'm gonna have a more detailed like listing system for pieces of heart to make it easier to find them. And again, a thing about this series is I'm going to be using very detailed timestamps, and eventually I might even compile all the timestamps to make like a master document somewhere, I don't know, where you can pull up the information that you need a lot quicker. Sorry for people who timestamped for this one, who just couldn't find this first seashell. But I'm not going to be too fussy about numbers for seashells while I'm playing. I will attempt to give numbers to pieces of heart because there's fewer of them. But you can check the timestamps in the description for a retroactive seashell number list. Of course, this will be number 1. Deservedly so. Oh yeah, so this is where we make money. This is the office. Another shitty day in the office. Butterflies flapping, dog scratcher getting greener, a little sticky with something. Maybe there's sap in this grass. These flowers are decidedly these flowers for this game, they're so flat. They're like a C+. You know, they get the job done. But look at these flowers. The pink ones on the house, that's A tier. That's A- tier. But that's A tier. The one on the windowsill, that is A tier. That is A tier for this game, but this is A+ tier. I mean, this is basically defining the entire metagame. The telephone flowers, forget about it. Those flowers aren't bad. I think they take notes from roses. They're 3D. That's a B+. That's what that is. That's a B+. Do you have flowers on your house? Oh, that's not a bad flower. In fact, it's putting in a lot of effort. Oh, there's somebody out there trying to say hi to us. Hello. Hey, can you see over the tree? Bloop. He's full of rage, actually. Does he know how little rage we feel in here? Oh yeah, this is... It's mostly leaf, right? In fact, it may even be a bush. But I like it. It's like a B+. Okay, so now for some real gaming. Fishing has a good amount of rewards you can get, and there's actually some exciting late game enemies. And by late game, I mean late fishing, late mini game. I've done this most times that I've played through. It was very intimidating my first time, but now I love running through this, and I'll teach you how to also love it. I genuinely feel like I'm helping people when I explain this. It was so stressful before. So yeah, you can catch a fish by putting it right in front of their face to trigger their bite. The only nuance there is sometimes they will swim away instead of biting. You'll know this soon. And then you enter reeling them in. That audio cue threw me off. It was so triumphant. You reeled in a big fish. It's so heavy that you wish you caught something lighter. Wow, a 24.86 incher. That's a lunker. Gotta have the specificity. Scientific. For landing a lunker, I'll get you a new lure. So we're already at the middleweight lure. I think that must be unlockable by just getting a green fish. Congratulations. And okay, piece of heart number 1. I really actually want a piece of heart number 1 to be a different one. So this is piece of heart number 2. Fuck with me, I don't care. Yeah, this is just for, I don't even know, frankly, what that's for. You'll usually roughly break even, at least if you catch like a lunker, you know, a lunker or more than that. Your starter fish are lunkers and not lunkers. This is not a lunker, but I will catch him out of charity and maybe for educational purposes. I feel like Professor Oak or maybe the Coffee Grandpa right now. This is a very Pokemon thing to be experiencing. Oh yeah, these guys you will not break even with. They pay you a bit less than the cost of admission. They are small fries, a little fish. Just like you, it is small, but it has plenty of fight. It's a run. You gotta dream bigger than that. 9 rupees, well, it's not really bad. What do you have in your... What the fuck? I think there are only 2 pieces of art. I didn't remember them coming so quickly. Like, there's a lot more to this minigame. We're being embarrassed in riches. No, it's an embarrassment of riches. I don't know. I'm embarrassed. That was piece of heart number 3. We still haven't gotten piece of heart number 1. I don't know. I would believe that your first piece of heart. I would believe that fishing for the first time or catching a lunker for the first time would give you a piece of heart, but I don't see why they both do. That's either 100% or half of the pieces of heart. I'm gonna say it's only half. It's either 4 or 2 from what I remember, but there is another feature that I'm going for right now. There we go. So that right there is a bottle. This is the first sort of challenge in the fishing game. There's a bottle right down there, and this can kind of suck your money away if you're not careful. It's being guarded by the lunker and the reeds, but it is a bottle. We're gonna want that. No. Yeah, so if it's anywhere in front of its face, I can't even escape you. Oh, never mind, you psyched me out. Yeah, if it's anywhere in front of its face, you very well might get them biting before you want them to. But here's it. I haven't taught you any tech yet. It's just constant action in this fishing game. I'm tapping up on the left stick to do a little jostle. Again, deceptively deep. Mashing A is how you reel it in. I haven't even had a minute to say that. And also, by the way, if you reel it in without catching a fish, you can recast without spending any money, which is pretty good for getting this bottle. Man, this is too action-packed to even be educational, and it's fishing. That's just how good this minigame is. It's still in here. It's not really that hard to pick it up, even if it's off-screen. There's a bit of an audio cue, and maybe HD rumble, except I didn't feel it that time. The first time I definitely heard the audio cue. You put the lure right over the bottle, and then you just tap to lure, and it'll make a little hooking sound to show that you got it. If you get it clear past the fish, there's nothing stopping you from just taking it. So these were actually added after the remake. I've never played the originals, to be frank with you. And it's a fairy bottle, not an empty bottle. It's just for fairies. It's very pretty, by the way. I think it has a nice look. But the thing in this game is these guys don't revive you, and I'll harp on that later. They don't revive you, which is a little tough if you're going for the not dying run. All I want is a lunker, man. I literally just want to teach. I literally just want to teach. No. Give me a challenge. I'm sorry. I feel bad. That's a big runt, you know, as they go. And this is a small lunker, so I feel a bit rude now. But yeah, again, I'm doing left stick, very small left stick touches to just kind of keep it in place. I think you can maybe do 4 directional movement, but I just usually am tapping up to save myself a minute. This is the meat of the gameplay right here, is they will have a phase where they go towards you and a phase where they're pulling away, and that's like the core of it. The rope has stress. I'm very good at this game, so you won't be able to tell, but I could attempt to show stress. Yeah, see, it's shaking. So if you try to, oh god, too good at this game. If you mash while they are pulling away from you, you're putting stress on the line. So your risk is that you break the line. You want it to be a nice relaxing experience for everybody involved, or it's just not gonna work. It's free to tap if they're coming at you, and the whole controller vibrates. If you're using anything with vibration, you're gonna know that you're pulling away from the fish. So basically you tap when they're coming towards you, no stress really, and then you just maybe tap a little bit. That's kind of where the strategy is. If you don't tap at all while they're pulling away from you, they might break even. They might just get back to square one on their turn, and then you are in this endless cycle where you pull an inch, they leave an inch, you know, give a mile, take a mile, whatever they say. It only becomes a factor with the more advanced fish, which these runts and lunkers are not. But I will teach you something else about this game. I didn't want to do that. No. Am I going to get a refund? I'm probably not going to get a refund. Speaking of refunds, I just spent 4,000 yen mailing a stupid package tube back to Amazon America. I didn't even know I was buying from Amazon America. I'm in Japan right now, and it cost me $4,000 to ship to them. They said they'll reimburse $15 for the shipping, which Japan has a new thing for international shipping, so I didn't even use their little code thing. I just tucked it in the box. They're like, your guy is going to want to see this customs paper, and it's like, my guy has a new systems for customs that rolled out 2 months ago. I don't think you're aware of this. I don't know if Amazon's ever going to be able to reimburse me for that. I'm only getting $20 back with the cost of the poster and the freaking shipping. So it's going to be like, I don't know, I can't do math, like $35? $35 of a refund. I might make money. I might actually not lose money. If they reimburse me $15, that's like, I don't know right now, like 2,400 yen. And then like the $20 I spent, that's like, I don't know, 3,500 yen. I might get up to 5,000 yen back. I might break even, but I'm probably gonna waste money when I could have just put this thing in the trash. I just really wanted to give it a better future. This is the drinking trough where we bring the piggies. Holy crap, I forgot there's a second mini game. I am drowning in it right now, so we need a second orientation on episode 2, don't we? I think we do. I think we do. But I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish this with heart piece number 1. That's what I'm going to do. I think we're going to spend more time in town doing more of that bullshit than we are the actual mysterious forest in the next episode, but catch you then. Those are hearts, they heal you. So this is heart piece number 1. This is the classic. Only gated by having a sword. This is the well. Did you know wells can have really dangerous enemies in Dragon Quest VI? I was just like cruising, I grinded a lot because I get stumped a lot in that game. If you go into a well towards the mid-game, you can get new enemies that just beat the fuck out of you. I am scared of wells. I have never done anything but love wells in my entire life, from Dragon Quest IX to Tears of the Kingdom to other Dragon Quest games to this particular well. Wells are usually cool. I'm afraid of wells now. So yeah, that's a good one for learning about heart pieces. Nice, that's a nice jump you did. Yeah, there's more to Maybe Village. I don't know how to pronounce it. I can't do any more of this. I can't do any more of this wholesome shit. I gotta go fight things with my sword. I gotta go to episode talk? I gotta carry this thing. I gotta go visit the red guy. Oh yeah, by the way, I'll tell you later, but what I was gonna say is, if you walk past the fishing hole, there's a glowing thing in there, like a glowing circle that'll spawn if something new has appeared. So we will be using that to judge whether or not it's time to fish going forward. You can get them, like we're gonna get them again soon. I'm probably gonna get a new kind of fish next time we come back. Like, yeah, you can either experience late game fishing in the late game, or you can do it immediately. It's 100% up to you. And yeah, let's go see who that jumping fellow is. See you next time. Except I'm kidding. Let's go to the epic item upgrade report, which you're gonna not hear me for a minute. Bear with me for a second. Sorry, that was embarrassing. I didn't have the info for the audio. Okay, so let's add up some items. We now have 1 heart, 1, 2 shells, and and more. Ta-da! Whee! We have a bottle. Da-da-da-da. I'm not going to keep track of any of that other core stuff, but one bottle. We will be missing a bottle by doing mellow percent, not true 100% with the Dampy dungeon, but who gives a fuck? This is cooler. So I'll see you next time. Peace.